In Dragons Dogma 2, almost everything costs a ridiculous amount of money, whether it be pieces of armour and gear for 55k upwards, or whether you need some fairy stones costing you 10k a pop just so you can fast travel. Having a lot of gold and being able to farm gold or know how to make money in this game is definitely one of the things you're going to have to get used to, especially if you want to start kitting out a lot of your different vocations. So in this video I'm going to show you all of the very best ways in the game so you can get rich fast, early, mid or late game. Now the first one we're going to go over is going to be a very obvious one, so I'm just going to touch on this briefly, but it's going to be your quests. Quests are definitely worth noting, because doing main quests and side quests, you could quite easily leave everything else in the game if you wanted to. However, you wouldn't be able to completely deck yourself out this way, and you'd often feel yourself a little bit strapped for cash, especially if you like having a lot of equipment on yourself. Now the next one we're going to be going over is going to be quests for your pawns. Your pawn can actually set its own quest, so if you wanted to, you could go to the Greater Riftstone, and that's going to be in Vernworth, and then you could set your own quest on your pawn, allowing you to gather some vital resources. However, the best thing I found is when you actually obtain other people's pawns, and then you try to complete their quests. The great thing about this, if you look through them, you can actually get some that are really good for making money. For example, you might get some that say you'll get 10k gold for defeating certain enemies, such as the elite enemies like Cyclops, Minotaurs or some of the big bads in the game. So you're going to want to go to one of the Riftstones, check these out, and then you'll be able to hire them. If you wanted to do this, probably best to hire 2 at a time, as then you'll be able to get 20k gold whenever you complete these quests. Absolutely amazing and really worth knowing, but you do have to be a little bit careful because obviously there is that dragon plague going around at the moment. So remember, check your pawn's eyes. If they're red, you may want to chuck them in the river and get rid of them as soon as possible. But this is definitely one way that's worth noting, and early on all the way to late game, this can get you 10 or 20k gold very easily and fast.
Aptly said.
One of the very best ways in the game that works all the way from early game up to the very end game is going to be buying and selling goods. Mainly you're going to be looking at goods such as your fruit, and a lot of people tend to go with the apples and the grapes. Some of the best places to do this will be Melve and the Forgotten Village, and it's a really simple, easy thing to do. All you're going to do is you're going to go up to the apothecary, you're going to check out his wares, and then you're going to buy his fruit stock off of him, and you're going to be trying to ripen it. I would say if you're doing this in the Nameless Village, probably put down a port crystal just because it's a nightmare to get here otherwise, but all in all, this is an absolutely amazing thing to do if you need to make money very fast. Nice and easy, you'll buy his goods, all of his grapes, all of his apples, and then you're just going to sit down on the bench until they ripen and they're worth a lot more money, but only at certain places. From there you can buy a lot more of them, do the same thing over and over again, store them in your storage, and when they're in your storage they just do not age, so they're going to start in a ripened state, but they'll be worth a lot more value in other areas. Now the thing about this, if you wanted to, you could then take it all, and once you progress through the storyline you'll be able to sell it off in Back Batal for a whole bunch more money. So again, if you can put a port crystal down, you can just travel back and forth and do this over and over again, making hundreds of thousands of gold per hour. But another good thing to know is that even if you didn't want to wait till late game and you wanted to do this very early, you can make it all the way over to this town just here, and that's going to be called the Checkpoint Rest Town. And then you're going to have to sit on one of the stalls, the one at the front gate is definitely preferable, pass some time until you see this trader just here turn up, and then this is going to be your opportunity to make some nice cash. So even if you're early on in the game, this will still work absolutely perfect. Go up to him, speak to him, and because he's actually from Back Batal, the desert region, even if you're not late game, you can sell your goods off to him for a much better profit margin. He's also got some really nice goodies on him, such as these masks right here, so it may be something you want to check out. Heading to the town of Back Batal once more, and this time we're going to be making some money on some mining. This is one of the very best places in the game, really easy to get to, really nice and fast to earn some money, and you don't really have to worry about much risk involved with it. You're just going to head out of the town this way, make you up the rock facings, keep hugging them, then just jump off onto the tent, make your way forward a little bit, and then jump onto the floor. From here you're going to be at the exact cave you're after, the Digger's Ruins, and you'll be able to pick up a ridiculous amount of glimmer coal this way. There's also some other nice things to pick up, such as copper, silver, things such as that, depending on your luck. So you're going to want to stay in here and pick up as absolute much as possible. It will be a bit weighty, so you probably have to palm some off to your pawns. Also, quick note, if you keep your weapon out, you'll be able to pick things up much faster. And a little ways into the cave, there's going to be a Minotaur that you probably want to take it as well, as he can drop some nice goodies and will give you a nice bit of XP. This cave is one of the very best, if not the best areas in the game to farm, especially for those mining resources, and it's fast, easy, and then you can just make your way back to Back Batal, sell it all off and rinse and repeat again, after waiting several days. I believe it's about 5 or 7. Now, the last way we're going to go over, if everyone's thinking that's great but I'm bored and it's just not fun enough, then this time we're going to be looking at how you defeat enemies and the best ones you should be going after in order to make yourself some quick cash. Again, just up from the town of Back Batal, if you make your way up to this area just here, you're going to be able to farm golems. They're in other areas as well if you wanted to, but this I found to be one of the best ones. Golems are absolutely amazing because when you're hitting their weak spots, they actually drop special upgrade resources, and these sell for 1.5k every single time you sell them on. Are some of the best resources to farm in order to make yourself some quick money, and just taking down one golem is going to mean you earn 6k every single time you do it. However, even better than that, there's going to be an upgraded golem that you can tackle a little bit further on into the game. If you make it all the way down to one of the final areas, you'll be able to get there quite easily from the Volcanic Island camp at the Agamemnon Volcanic Island. From there, head out the left gate and then proceed just roughly down this road until you get to this area just here. You can't miss it, it's very close to a campsite, and going to town on this baddie will give you a much better rate of dropped magic medals. Usually between 8 to 10 if I remember correctly, as well as some electron, which is a really nice upgrade material. Ultimately, this is well worth farming as it's going to set you up very nicely, making it an amazing enemy to defeat, because whenever you sell them all off, most times you're going to make over 10k profit from everything that drops from this enemy. This can be absolutely amazing for some classes, especially those that are really good at targeting the weak spots. Now finally, from the Volcanic Island camp again, or a few other places, but this is one of the better ones, you're going to make your way up in this area just here, and then you're going to be able to tackle a Drake. Drakes in this game are almost pretty much essential late game if you're trying to get some of the best gear and armour, but even if you're not, farming them for money can be great if you're trying to sell off those Worm's Life crystals fast. Now, even though it can take a little while to defeat these Drakes, it's definitely going to be in your interest because you get some of the very best resources in the game in those Worm's Life crystals, and they're absolutely amazing if you want to sell them on to make a nice tidy profit of around about 1.5k every single one. Bearing in mind you can get up to 20 if you're lucky per each one of these Drakes you've defeated, giving you a massive amount of gold each time. However, I would advise, if you're going to be playing New Game Plus and you want your character to be truly powerful, you want to be kitted out in some of the best, most powerful gear available, then these Worm's Life crystals may well be something you want to hold on to rather than selling on. But again, it all depends on your situation, and you can farm these to your heart's desire, so it all depends what you want to do with the goods at the time. But yeah, these are all the best ones I've found in the game. Hopefully they help you, as you'll be able to do a few of them at pretty much any stage. Let me know how you're getting on with the game and your favourite class, and as always, there'll be a lot more content in the way from me. For now, take care. I'll see you on the next day.